Hello, Potrero kids. We are about to embark on a baking adventure of one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, cupcakes. Cupcakes! We've got some helpers, James and Ben, who are going to help us out. So it's not that tricky of a recipe, and it is based off of my favorite cupcakes in the whole wide world, which are from which city? Washington, D.C. And what's the name of that cupcake place? Georgetown Cupcakes. This is their recipe, guys. It turns out really amazing, unbelievably delicious. So most of this stuff is stuff you might already have at home or be able to get in the store pretty easily. So we're going to walk you through. We're going to have some fun all the way up till we are frosting it at the end. So Ben, I'm going to put you in charge of step one, which is putting these muffin liners, cupcake liners, into the tin. James, can you grab us a 1 cup measure? Awesome. James, can you scoop 1 cup of flour? We're going to do a half recipe, so it's going to be 1 1/4 cups of flour.
1 1/4?
So we're going to start with 1 cup.
Oh. What? No.
Awesome. So we've got 1 cup in there, and now James is going to add an extra 1/4 cup. Here it is, James. The 1/4 cup measure. Show them how much smaller that is than 1 cup. How many of those would it take to make 1 cup if that's a 1/4?
4.
4 of those makes 1 cup. James, if you need to even that out, you can use a knife to sort of spread it evenly. With a teaspoon of baking powder. There you go. Okay, James, so you did the 1 1/4 cups. We're all good?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and wash those hands since you got some flour on them. So this is the thing for evening it out right here. Here, I'm going to show you a trick. Potrero kids watching at home, the baking powder comes with its own little evener outer. So you can just slide it up so it comes out perfectly flat on top. Ben, go ahead and add that in. So that's our 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And it's also asking us for a 1/4 teaspoon, 1 1/4. I'm just going to estimate this, you guys. I'm not that serious. That's about a 1/4, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Okay. And the last thing we need is 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So I think we should just do what I'm going to estimate to be about 1/8, which is really going to just be a tiny sprinkle.
That's good.
Yeah. Then you can add that in. And James, you can use this to now start mixing it around. I like to use a sifter, you guys. That gets it all mixed really nicely and sort of airy.
Don't spread it.
And James is just going to keep stirring it till it all falls through. While he does that, we have some butter that's already at what we call room temperature. Secret trick, put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds at half power, gets it to about room temperature. So Ben, can you use a knife to slide those in? Here is your knife.
What?
Slide those into the bowl. Awesome.
Now do I start mixing?
So that's 4 teaspoons of butter, and we need to add the sugar. So how much sugar does it say on our recipe? We need 0.9 cups, because we're doing a half recipe, so our fractions are going to be weird. That's a decimal. That's pretty much saying almost a cup. So we're going to fill up almost a cup with sugar.
So half a cup?
Half a cup is way, way, way less than a cup. We're filling this up almost the whole way. So I've got our sugar right here. Move this out of our way. I'm going to estimate it because it's a weird amount.
What
So
is
I'm
that,
going to
sugar?
say that's about 0.9 cups, almost. Yeah, dump it right in with the butter.
Oh, it just like covered the butter.
And now it says cream it together, which really just means turning it on.
1 to 1.
Putting it on sort of like middle speed, medium speed. So medium speed, I'm going to give you guys a peek at what's happening in our bowl. So first it looks lumpy, and then it's going to get smoother. So it's supposed to get sort of creamy looking, which will happen. And then we're going to add our egg next. James, do you see our egg out over here? The egg is also supposed to be at room temperature. So again, I kind of stuck it in the microwave for about 30 seconds at a low power, just to make it room temperature. Now, don't you guys think this is starting to look more together? I'm going to show it to the kids. Now they can see it's really been getting creamed in there.
Very soft.
I showed them when it wasn't mixed all the way. So now I'm going to do this part with the egg because we don't want to risk having any of our shell end up in our butter sugar mixture. So I'm very carefully going to crack my egg. Then read to us what it says. Mix, and we're on the end of number 3. Hold that for us.
Mix and egg.
Now, and what's our next step then?
Step 4. Stir the vanilla into the milk.
Stir the vanilla into the milk. And look, I've already got our milk. It's also at room temperature. Guys, how do you think I got this milk to room temperature? In the microwave. So we're going to add the vanilla into that milk. Do you see the vanilla? Vanilla, right here. Woo, vanilla. So how much vanilla does it say to add? 1.25 teaspoons. So that's 1 teaspoon and then 1/4. So about 1/4 of the way.
Should we mix it?
You can mix it very gently. Go for it.
Looks like chocolate milk. Starting to look like whipped cream.
Sometimes you get clumps at the bottom of the stand mixer that don't get mixed in all the way. So I'm going to pause this, lift on up, and just make sure I'm really getting everything mixed all together. And I'll wipe my spatula off on there, and I'll mix just a little bit more. See how creamy that's looking, guys?
Now should we dump this in?
So there are very specific instructions. This is what gets them so light and fluffy, is following these instructions. Ben, can you read that loudly?
With the mixer on low speed, alternate adding the dry ingredients and the milk
Starting and ending with the dry. Mix until it's just combined. So what speed did they say we wanted this on, you guys? Low. Very low. You don't want it going fast. It said start with the dry ingredients and then add the milk. So how about we start with about a scoop of that. Then add it sort of slowly in. Yes. And we're alternating it with what? James, do you remember what we're alternating it with?
Milk.
The milk.
Milk.
The milk mixture. So James, can you add about half of that milk mixture in? Go ahead and pour that in.
That's good.
I think that's about half.
I'll do this now and you do that.
Let's see. I'm going to do a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, James, you're going to add the next batch of dry. Go for it.
You can actually just
Awesome. And Ben, you're going to add the last of the milk. Slowly stream it in.
whipping the milk.
Nice. And I'm going to add the very last of the dry. They said to end with the dry and only whisk it in till it's just mixed. The trick is to not over mix this batter. So you boys tell me when it looks like it's just mixed in without a lot of flour separately visible. What do you guys think is mixed?
Good.
Yeah. But what's wrong with the sides? There's still flour on the sides. So I get out my spatula, sort of wipe down my whisk, and I'm gonna get all the flour off of the sides, wipe it on to my mixer. Give it just a tiny bit more mix, just a little bit. And guys, that is it. Look at that. There is our batter. That's all it took. So now what I'm going to do is spoon some of it into these muffin tins right here. So I'm going to let you watch part of that.
What
as
should
I
we
do it.
spoon?
I'm going to get a spoon. Going to get a nice big spoon. And I don't need this mixer in my way anymore. So I'm just going to scoop off part of the batter from that. Put that down to rest.
James.
All
James.
I need to do is some of that.
Can you lift that up? It's pointing down.
Oh, I want it pointing down at the muffin tin so people can see.
Can't see us. That I can.
Oh yeah. They love to see your face, Ben. You get your face in there. So we've got 3 so far. Number 4, number 5, and number 6. Now, guys, we don't normally like to experiment once we've found a recipe that we love, but there are exceptions. We had an idea of trying to turn some of these into what we call funfetti cupcakes. James and Ben, what do we need to add to make these funfetti? We need to add sprinkles. So let's have some fun with this. So these will be our regular ones. But
Should we get really fun stuff?
oh, we need the best sprinkles possible, which are these. Let me tell you why. These are really bright colors and they're artificial, which means they melt really messily in our batter, which is what we want. We really want messy, bright colors spreading all through. So James, since you're here with us, I'm going to let you do a big sprinkle of those. Just start shaking. Guys, this is the fun part to watch.
I'm gonna move this. Now, should I take a big
Awesome.
shake?
Now, Ben, you come on over and give it a shake. James, you hop on down. Give Ben some space.
Excuse me.
Okay, Ben, give it a shake there.
How do you get it?
It's hard. Gotta keep shaking. Oh, not the way to shake. Don't drop your sprinkle container into the batter. Awesome, Ben. Okay. I'm going to give it a last couple shakes. Or should I be really mean and show them there was an easier way this whole time?
You knew, but I thought you would say no.
Okay, so now we've got a bunch of sprinkles.
And let's mix it.
Look at how many are in here, everyone. Woo!
Can I mix it?
I'm going to do some gentle mixing. The rule is that we really don't want this to be overly mixed. So I'm going real slow, just spreading it around. Do you think we should do a little bit more, you guys? What do you think?
Yeah.
Just
Can
a
I
little.
dump it?
You know, I'm going to give it like a little, I don't have a way to measure it then, so for fear of it getting overly stuffed. Okay, this is where we're going to say we're good, and we're going to add it to the muffin tins. Okay, here we go. So guys, my question is, do you think there will be a little bit left over that we can make some minis? Ooh, what do you
Yeah.
think? James, you go ahead and wash your hands.
Should I show them me putting it in?
Oh, they can see from here.
You can't really see the back.
Correct. We'll do our best.
I can bring them.
Ooh. So we'll just use a little bit. We just have a little bit extra, but why not make a couple of these just to see how they go?
It was gonna be full of color.
Okay. Not going to use liners for this. I just sprayed it with a little bit of oil so they don't stick too badly. I wonder how many I can get out of here. I've got one. What do you guys think?
I think
Two.
maybe 4 or 5. I think 4.
Got 3 so far.
Using 4.
I think I just did it in one of the ones I didn't grease.
What does grease mean?
Grease means putting some oil in it so it doesn't stick to the pan. So that one is going to stick a little bit, I bet. That's okay, I'll eat that one, you guys. I'll take one for the team.
I'll take it.
Okay, do you think I have room for like one more? I bet I could scrape. There's not very much left, you guys, but I bet I could use even what's on the spoon. Use my spatula would help.
It's gonna get stuck on the spatula.
I know, but the spatula, look how much it's about to get.
Shit. Can almost get 2.
I think we'll be good with one.
There's enough for one more.
No, not quite. Friends, it's time for us to put these into the oven. Ben, you want to follow me with the laptop as we put these in?
Yep.
Okay. And James, can you get ready to open the oven for us? Okay, Ben. Here we go. Onto the oven. It's happening. Okay, James, open it up. And close it gently. Bye, cupcakes. We'll see you soon. In about 10 minutes, I'll start checking the minis, and in about 15 minutes, I'll be checking the bigs. Let's see how our cupcakes are doing. These little guys baked very fast, so they're already out of the oven. And these big guys, they're still in there. But they're getting pretty puffed up and starting to look good. So we're gonna pull those out in a minute. The big cupcakes are ready to come out of the oven. Come with me and see. Oh yeah. So remember, this is our experiment. We've never done the funfetti before. We've never done the sprinkles in the cupcake. So you're gonna notice what I'm noticing. How do they look different? Do you see any differences between these? Look at their height. Do you see which are standing up a little bit higher? These funfetti ones, these ones with the sprinkles, are for some reason a lot puffier, and the plain ones in the back are a little bit flatter. So we're gonna let them cool for a little bit before we frost them up. Okay friends, even though I don't have my helpers with me, I'm gonna walk you through very easy frosting. Step one, I'm gonna measure 2 cups of powdered sugar into my mixing bowl. 1 and 2 dose. It's sort of making a big mountain because I'm using a strainer there to sort of push it through, which helps keep it really airy and light so that it's gonna mix a really extra smooth frosting. So now you'll be able to see that all of my powdered sugar has gone through and into my bowl. So I don't need my strainer anymore. I'm gonna add my 3 ounces of cream cheese that I brought up to room temperature and 2 tablespoons, that was 3 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla, which is another way of saying just a very tiny amount of vanilla. And just for good measure, I will do the tiniest ever pinch of salt. Now it goes onto my big stand mixer, where I'm going to put on my paddle for mixing and turn it on very slowly because that sugar is going to fly everywhere. And I'm just going to let that mix for a couple minutes to get really light and fluffy. Raise it up pretty high so that it's going to be beating our frosting really fast. You can see how it's getting smooth and fluffy. That's how it's supposed to look. Now there's one thing I wanted to add this time that I have not added before, and that is pink food coloring. I do not know how many drops I want to put in to make this frosting turn pink, so I'm just going to experiment with 1 and 2. Let's see how it's starting to look. Whoa! Pink frosting is happening! Wow, I think 2 is actually good. Okay guys, the cupcakes are out of the oven. They're still warm, so the rule is you're supposed to wait till they cool down to frost them, but I'm not the best at being patient with my cupcakes, so I'm gonna get right to it and show you how I do it. So the first thing I do is take a Ziploc bag that I have in my house, and I cut off one of the corners. Then, this is called a pastry tip, a piping tip. I can slide that in there, and this is gonna be my frosting bag. So I can dump my frosting right into it. This is some pretty thick frosting. It has had a habit of sometimes breaking, so I'm actually gonna double bag it as soon as I've got some frosting in there. So here's what I do. Open up my mixer, look at that pink frosting. Looks so yummy. Scoop some of that into my bag. And it goes. And then I'm going to kind of shake it a little bit so it goes down near where the tip of it is. And then just for good measure, I'm double bagging it today. We've had some exploding frosting bags around here lately. Not so good. Delicious mess, but mess nonetheless. Awesome. Okay, so what you always do when you're piping frosting is you squeeze as high up as you can so that all the frosting doesn't go out of the top. So I'm gonna keep squeezing it down until, oh, here it comes. Get ready guys, I'm so excited. I'm gonna do a mini one to start. Check this out, friends. And I like to kind of swirl it around. Check it out, you guys. And since it's funfetti, let's make it fun. Add some sprinkles on top. Hey, James and Ben, you guys want to come check this out? Yeah. Okay, here they come. Let's see what they say. Come check it out, guys. What do you think? Oh,
Cool.
isn't it awesome?
Oh, this is awesome.
Would you guys each like to frost one?
Sure.
Okay, let me get you guys a fresh plate. What do you think of our pink frosting?
This looks great. What kind
Okay.
is it? Vanilla?
It's just vanilla. James, you want to do a big one? Okay. See, he knows how to do it. He's holding it from the top, giving it a squeeze there. And this time I've double bagged it, you guys, so our frosting doesn't explode. Woo. Okay, that end it there, yeah. End it there. Awesome.
Can I
Wow.
put some sprinkles on top or no?
Yes, you can, but let's hang on and let Ben do his first. Okay, Ben, go for it. So you're gonna wanna squeeze it from up here. Your hand is a little bit too low. So you're gonna let go of this hand and you're gonna bring it up here. Yes, that's where you're gonna squeeze from. There you go.
Can I?
Yep. He's doing it. Yeah, there it goes. Nice. Frostings can be a little melty because we're frosting warm cupcakes, which again, against the rules.
I can't squeeze it.
Is it hard to squeeze? Yeah, it can be really hard to have those hand muscles when you're a kid. Oh, there I got going. Yes.
That's
Perfect.
because I was holding it from the bottom.
Nice. So what kind of sprinkles are you guys going to decorate with?
Oh wow, where's the like the most?
There's this kind. We've got some other kinds of sprinkles that we like to stockpile.
Oh.
We have a big collection of sprinkles, you guys.
First.
I'm going to show you. some
I
of our
asked
options.
first one.
Oh, you guys can both go at the same time. No need to argue over who goes first, right? We've got mini rainbow ones. We've got silver ones. We've got holiday ones. Ben, what have you discovered? Oh, perfect, the stars. That's genius. These ones are crazy. Look at those. Balls, stars, cylinders, all sorts of crazy stuff. James, what have you decided on? You want to use those as well? Okay.
No, maybe some of these.
Those are like sugar. It's not exactly sprinkles. So Ben, you got to do it from a little bit higher
I
up.
kind of like these. Maybe pink and purple.
Nice. Okay.
But then they all drop. They don't get on.
Yeah. You can pick them up. Redirect them where they fall. And James is doing colored sugar. I'm going to get you guys closer so
I
you
want
can
to do
see.
some colored sugar too.
Flying over to here. Ooh, look at that. Purple sugar. That is awesome. Guys, that's it for our cupcakes. I hope that you can.
Don't get any more
Oh.
stuff.
Oh, wait. Rewind. There's more, apparently. What's up, James?
Mix.
Oh, you need to add some other stuff. Got it. You didn't want them to miss it. Ooh, hand applying them for extreme perfection. Oh, Ben, I'm seeing an enormous amount of sprinkles coming this way. Good luck, sir. The gentle tapping approach seems to be working on. Boom. Tough to control those sprinkles.
That's perfect.
Okay. Now, James, I'm sure you're going to be adding a lot more perfect detail, but for now, can we say adios to our friends at Pochero Kids?
Bye.
Bye, friends at Pochero Kids. We love you. We miss you. We hope you get cupcakes soon.